With a big breaking update that is coming at this point in time, there are reports of shots being fired inside the White House Correspondents' Dinner venue, one of the most high security and high-profile events in the United States. We will be showing you the visuals on the screen, but let's tell you what has happened so far, because we are learning that the shots were fired. President Donald Trump was present at that venue, as you can see on the screen. He was quickly taken off the stage as the situation unfolded there. Heavily armed United States Secret Service agents, they moved in immediately, securing the venue and escorting the president out of that tight protection. But those are the visuals that have emerged of the chaos at that Correspondents' Dinner venue. The journalists, the political leaders who were present there, in total confusion about what has happened. We are now learning that the suspected shooter has been shot dead. In fact, what was meant to be a formal and high-profile evening quickly turned into a scene of panic and confusion after the reported gunfire. At this moment, details are still emerging, and there is no official confirmation on yet whether there are any injuries that have been reported, because Donald Trump, his top leaders, the political leaders, top journalists, they were present at this dinner. It also remains unclear how the shooter managed to enter such a heavily secured venue. Serious questions about a possible security breach as well. Investigation, we are learning, is already underway, and security agencies are likely to examine every angle of this incident, including the identity and the motive of the attacker in this case. For now, the key takeaway is this: the shots were reported inside the venue that you can see on the screen. The President of the United States, he was safely evacuated, and the shooter has been confirmed dead. All right, let me go across to Purnima Nath, politician based in USA. Thank you so much for connecting with us. How do you look at what has unfolded as far as US White House Correspondent Dinner is there concerned? Because we can see panic there on the screen. Donald Trump was safely taken out of that area, but that raises a lot of questions on the security breach.
Thank you so much for having me. Namaste, Jai Hind. First of all, we are concerned about what just happened, but we have no idea exactly how it spanned out over here. If you remember the Butler shooting that has happened back in before the election, the shooter also went pretty close to President Trump, and at that point of time, the shooter was shot and killed. The question that still is unanswered at this point of time: how did the lone wolf actually went towards so close to President Trump? Unfortunately, at this point of time, I think it had literally just happened, and I've just looked into it. They're going back into the dinner, so we don't know.
All right, so this was one of the most secure area there where the incident has taken place. I'll come back to you, Purnima.
Members, including Scott Bessent, Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, Whitcock, they were all ushered out and taken to a secure place. Of course, there are reports saying that this was probably a gunman that opened fire, but we don't have any confirmed reports on that. The program is supposed to resume shortly. That's what has been announced. But we still don't have anything from the association. So overall, this was the first time that President Trump participated in this dinner, and we're just waiting for authorities to tell us what really transpired here. In Washington, D.C., from the White House Correspondents' Association dinner, this is Reena Bhardwaj for ANI.
All right, so those are the reports emerging there from the White House Correspondent Dinner. Let me once again go back to Purnima Nath on this. Purnima, this is very concerning, because this is not the first time that Donald Trump has come in direct danger, and this time as well. But let me come back to you on this. Let me go across to my colleague Mayank on this. Mayank, tell us what has happened there at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Take us through the sequence of events.
A major ingress has been reported. Ingress in the sense like a person who has been able to enter or has been able to breach the cordon of security, along with the not only bullets but the firearm itself. Excuse me. And after that, he has been able to successful to fire at least 5 to 6 gunshots. That's what we are hearing as the first report. But post that, I mean, it's major concern because this reminds us of the Pennsylvania event which happened during the electioneering time when Trump was shot at and the gun had passed through, scraping his ears. So in this case also a major ingress has been reported that he has been, the person in point has been able to break the cordon, carry the firearms, shoot at the person, because it is highly concerning, because one of the most secured person of the world who has multi-layered security, the breach has been reported from that place. And so it is highly concerning, and it has happened for the second time, mind it. So which means the drills and actions which have been devised so as to secure the VIP, in this case the president of the US, is somewhere finding a breach. This is a matter of study in so many ways, but as of now, the best thing is actually that the president is safe. That is the best part. And as far as the first reports are concerning, the person in point, the person who has been able to fire the shots, has been apprehended. So a major
so the person has been taken into custody. Stay on with us, Mayank. Let me take our viewers to what Donald Trump has posted on social media. Remember, he was present there at the very event. He was evacuated by the Secret Service agents. That is something that we can see on the screen as well. And now in a social media post, he has said, quite an evening in DC Secret Service and law enforcement did a fantastic job. They acted quickly and bravely. The shooter has been apprehended, and I have recommended that let the show go on, but will entirely be guided by the law enforcement. They will make a decision shortly. Regardless of that decision, the evening will be much different than planned, and we will just have to do it again. So this is what Donald Trump has said, going on to confirm that the shooter has been taken into custody. Also calling the DC Secret Service and the law enforcement that they did a fantastic job, saying that the show must go on, but entirely he will be guided by the law enforcement, whether he should come back to the venue or not, because that has raised a lot of concern. How was that gunman, the shooter, he breached the security, came inside that highly secured venue with a gun in his hand? It's something that the investigators will find out. But this is, in fact, Donald Trump mentioning that the shooter has been taken into custody. All right, let me take you through the visuals, what has happened so far. So as you can see here on the screen, you can see Donald Trump along with his wife sitting there on the stage, and here on this side there were several political leaders, top journalists of the country, and with several of the leaders here as well. And then something happens, they hear a shot, and as you can see, he ducks down. He, along with his wife, they duck down. Secret Service, law enforcement agencies, they come to the stage and take him to safety. He has been taken out of this particular venue, is what we're learning so far. But other visuals also go on to show that there was utter panic at that venue. And but the update is that he is safe. The shooter has been taken into custody. Whether he is alive or has been shot, that is something that will come out. But at this point in time, we're learning that all those who were there on the stage, they are currently safe and they have been taken out of that particular venue, is what we're learning so far. All right, we have another breaking update coming